This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
If we just put a British accent, someone just narrating how to get your medicines prescribed.
Aussie?
Oh no, I just gave it away. Jeez, it's me. I was the guy that won the Astro League. I forgot about it.
Shit, were you?
But
NFL?
He was just silent, no camera on. I'm just sitting there. I'm like eating my finger bun pre-draft.
Fantasy.
and they were having breakfast together, sitting there having big breakfasts, having a bit of bacon and egg, bit of sausage.
Sharing a bagel. Very good.
We all know what that means. So basically, lock MPJ in for a top 1 season this year.
Top one.
Tell the tradesman. No reason to have a trade segment on the podcast.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Yeah, there we go. There we go, mate.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh, that looks even bigger, man.
That didn't do anything for me.
Oh, it did stuff for us. Yeah.
It did shit for us. It's good enough.
Well, g'day. It is Matty C here for the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Welcome in. It's been a big week 3. Nothing weird happened in week 3 at all. There weren't weird safeties and almost scoreless primetime games or anything weird. And mate, I've got to tell you, just looking down rankings of where people are in positions after 3 weeks of fantasy, and some of the big names who've disappointed, some of the questionable names who are really performing well, and some of the big injuries, it's made it really tricky to navigate. So you're in the right place if you're looking for good fantasy advice. We've got heaps coming up on the show. And the way we're going to deliver these each week, it's going to be a Pastry performance segment straight to YouTube. It's going to be the Dr. Good Call segment straight to YouTube. It's going to be the public defender. We're going to drag the guy in front of the court, send it straight off to YouTube, and then we'll have our starts of the week. So we're going to have it staggered out into 4 different shows for the YouTube. But for the podcast version, we are going to keep it crammed together because we know you digest them differently. Sometimes you're in a car, you're listening, you can listen for much, much longer. With the video stuff, we realize you just got to get them out there, and an hour and a half too long. So we've worked on that, and that's how we're coming to market now going forward. Got some big news too I've got to announce, is that our partnership with the No Huddle Dynasty podcast, which we announced last week, that's begun. That is up in our feed right now, and you're going to find an episode there from Marky Mark at No Huddle, just based on dynasty football, which we don't cover here at the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. You can find that every couple of weeks, and it will pop up. Make sure you subscribe to us so you can get that. If you are new to dynasty, or you're even someone who hasn't played dynasty and you'd like to just check it out and get to understand it, the show is going to be much more about the bigger philosophical questions around dynasty and how it differs from redraft, and a lot about how you construct your roster, and a bit of strategy around how you do that. So it's not going to be one of those things where it's talking about weekly pickups and drops or bigger trade questions. Very much going to be about the sort of information you would need to develop yourself into someone who can play Dynasty, or who can take their introduction to Dynasty to the next level. He's a really, really great and insightful mind, and we'll talk about that through these segments in the show as well. But welcome to the stable of the Aussie NFL Fantasy Podcasts, to the No Huddle Dynasty Show. We're really, really proud to have Marky Mark, who's a friend of the show, been through the show a bunch, now with us permanently. The other thing I wanted to just mention too is through Manjot with Geared 8 Gridiron. He and Ian are putting out shows often, a couple of times a week. They're doing recaps, they're doing previews, and it is much more NFL based and not as fantasy based, but they're a sister podcast to us. And we recommend you go over and find them through Facebook and also through Instagram. Follow them on Spotify as well. And for us too, subscribe to us, the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show, through the YouTube, through any of the podcast platforms to make sure you don't miss an episode. You can find all of this through our link tree. All of these are through our link tree. You can find that at linktree/Aussie NFL Fantasy. Everything's there. All our social media, all our sister podcasts, everywhere that we are, including the ACT Gridiron, which Manjot and I are helping provide commentary for the live stream of every week through the ACT Gridiron season. This coming week is a bye week thanks to a local public holiday, but every Saturday, live stream of a juniors game and then live stream commentated main game each week. Okay, I think I've covered all the crosses to start with. We're going to start getting these things rolling because we've got 3 big segments to do in the early part of the week, and then, of course, starts of the week to roll out later. Going to hop right into it. Let's get the boys in here, have a quick chat about how their fantasy world's going, and then get into the Pastry performance.
With what we're looking at, it is not great.
Look, Goff, I was looking at him in the first round.
He wasn't, but I was rattled at wide receiver this week. I guarantee I go last.
Yeah, wide receiver is very, very interesting.
I'm not sure about really any of them, so we'll just say Dr. Google.
Yeah, I wasn't actually. I was thinking about picking him up, but then, yeah, I just didn't. I'm going with Irv Smith Jr.
Ooh,
the
nice.
Smooches.
Smooches.
Smooches will have to wait.
Stitches, I was ready for that one.
Okay, I am coated head to toe in Jags gear like I'm the number one draft pick because I'm really excited about the only success in my world really was the Jags and the Astro League. We finally got our first win, 88 for the franchise. But ladies and gentlemen, the president of football operations, Manjot Melly, the public defender, he opened his account in the Astro League this week. Mate, how do you feel?
Man, I am so happy today just to see myself get my first ever win in Astro League history.
Come on.
That is something that's absolutely incredible. Means a lot to me. I woke up on Monday morning late this week. I actually didn't get up at 3 a.m. as usual. I slept in too long. I did a few too many assignments. But then once I got up, I looked at the score. I was like, for sure, James Robinson, he's cooking as usual. I got up at like 7 a.m. So I missed the entire early window. But then James Robinson, he was cooking. The Jaguars, man, they were cooking. Very happy. I was the Jaguars' second biggest fan this week after Matty C, because they just absolutely did their job. And yeah, they made my bold prediction even on Good Day Gridiron of the Chargers scoring 20 or less points. Look absolutely stupid. So yeah, we had the Jags defense, Christian Kirk, James Robinson, all starting, and of course ETN on the bench. So we're the
Western Jaguars, mate. The Western
Jaguars right here in the Eastern Hemisphere.
The first year in a while they've actually been useful players, isn't it? It's the funniest thing. Just over on the other screen, though, we've got someone else who was successful in the Astro League this week, and he's even got the merchandise.
I do.
Old Astro League podcast days. Tay, welcome back, brother.
Shout out to the Astro League, baby.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Manjot. Well done, mate, on the first win. I'll congratulate you again, like you just mentioned, on the less than 20 points for the Chargers.
Yes,
sir. That was. I remember listening to that the other day. That was actually a really, really good call, and you and Maddie were both pretty confident that whatever the Chargers sort of trotted out there at quarterback, whether it was a limping Herbert or a Chase Daniel, you were pretty confident
Jesus 2.0.
Jags wouldn't get that done, so that was awesome. But again, look, bearing the lead here, TC talks so much shit leading up, saying me and Adam were basically as shit as each other, and he basically was going to tear this division apart. He's now 1-2. Me and Adam are 2-1, and he's just sitting down there in the cellar just eating shit. So well done, TC. Well done for opening up all that crap. And well, let's see if you can maybe win another game this year, mate, because your team sucks.
Wow.
Good way.
The venom.
Good way to kick it off. Yeah, that's for sure.
Starting out
CD, he got CD Lambs, didn't he? And I was just, oh my God, I almost threw something through my car window when CD Lamb dropped that absolute bare naked catch in the first half. I'm like, this is not going to be my day. And then even the catches he started getting, even the second half, were like weird dump offs that he'd take for like 2 yards and stuff. Like, he's so skinny that he can't really do that. He kind of has to burn people. He can't go through them.
Yeah, it's the Matty C way. You can't drop me one behind line of scrimmage and expect me to power you a first down. No.
I don't know if you noticed too that when he got that 20-odd yard catch on that drive that he ended up scoring the touchdown, when he got pulled up a yard short, I was still like 0.1 of a point or something behind TC. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen to me 2 weeks in a row. And then straight away, Cooper Rush goes back to him. I'm like, oh, thank God.
For those playing at home, Taylor last week, in a league where 106 will win you a lot of weeks, scored 128.8 and lost by 1/10 of a point. To Adam, who he's never beaten. He's 0-5 against Adam. That is just excruciating.
It's one of those things, though. It was brutal to lose by that much, but it's a funny thing where I scored 80-1 in week one. So I kind of felt like I was, well under par to win that anyway, so it made me not feel that bad to lose with 128. It wasn't great to lose by 0.1, but I was trying to see the silver lining. And then this week I only put up a 97 and 1 as well. So
Yeah.
honestly, overall to be 2 and 1, I'm pretty happy with that because I could have easily been something more like 1 and 2 with the scores that I've put up.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about the league this year is, okay, in anyone's league, who's got teams that are consistent in scoring? Anyone? Viola?
It was probably Justin because of his wide receivers, and then they shat the bed this week. It's
He's
funny,
been so
one's
good.
safe.
Like, the only team in our home league who's scoring consistently is the Cornhuskers. His scores are 85.8, 85.9, 89. He's 0-3.
And he gets about 3 points from the quarterback position each week. With Justin
Each week. It's delicious. So, yeah, he's got this perpetual cycle for those who were around for the Astro League last year. Every odd year, he is damn near unstoppable. 2019, I think he had the longest winning streak to open a season in league history at 9-0 or something like that. And then, every even year, he cannot make the playoffs. He's just never made the playoffs in an even year. So, it continues by the look of it. 0-3. We just did the maths on this yesterday. No 0-3 team has ever made it in the 16-team era.
He had an awesome team last year. Like it was
it
one
was
of the teams
rocking. It was amazing that he didn't make the final, but he lost to an eventual champion. So what are you going to do?
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
100%.
Mate, we've got a big show because we've got the pastry performers, and we'll fire them up in a minute. But Dr. Goodcall has got plenty to talk about, and I am really keen to get this player out to the public defender. We need to get this ball rolling. Manjot, you ready for your intro for the pastry performers?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready as hell.
Quickly shout out to Manjot wearing the Giants shirt. Well done, mate.
Yeah, go San Francisco Giants. I couldn't wear the other goddamn San Francisco team this week. Very disappointed in them.
Don't deserve it, do they, Manjot?
They got
a week
they
on
got
the bench
the
for them.
Just got the beanie.
Yeah, the beanie and the background, but I'll restrict them jersey rights. Jersey rights. Yeah, I mean the Giants kind of sucked this year.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah.
So,
Look, I'll give them a pass. They're the only real them and the Warriors, the only teams that pretty much I've seen win championships consistently as my life and as a sports fan. So let's be fair. They're the only two teams I should be repping ever. The other teams got to catch up. But yeah, pastry performer drop.
They're so sweet and fresh. Really? Yeah. Thanks for calling pastries. Thanks for calling pastries. Pastries. I got all my pastries. Pastries. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. I got all my pastries and I got 'em while they hot.
It was so yummy. Some of them are
That stays in my head most of the week. I'd just be walking around the house singing pastries.
Oh, that's the effect.
I've definitely had that too.
That's the pastry performer effect. That's for sure.
And then I was breakdancing like that, as I normally do.
So yeah, that's a little look into the life of the household here. My kids know that song, and they sing it too. Manjot, you've got some awards to give out.
Yes, I do. The pastry performer of the week awards are back for week 3. Very, very yummy pastries coming to all of these guys. Of course, we have the pastry performer team of the week as well. That's coming out in Pastry Press, and it's already out in Good Day Gridiron, wherever you find your podcast. That'll be out before we put out our show. We'll put out both of those posts. But here we go. Pastry performer individual awards. Wanted to catch myself there. Week 3, we'll start with the rookie pastry performer. We have Jalen Petrie, the safety from the Texans.
Wow.
Now, he played a very good game against the Chicago Bears. He got 2 interceptions. He was covering the field all over for them. Shut down Cole Kmet, who people thought was a good fantasy football tight end. Yeah. But honestly, I could never have seen him be good. He only had 2 catches for 40 yards. So
he was enormous.
Yeah, that's enormous because he had 0 for 0 the first 2 weeks. And now he's got a couple catches. But look, It was still a good performance by Petrie. He was very good in covering the back end. I don't think he really covered Komet that much, but Petrie showed why he was very good at Baylor, and I think he can be a very good stud for the Houston Texans organization coming up in the next few years. He definitely deserves it. He also won a spot on my team of the week at safety. Bit of a spoiler alert there, but there you go. You guys that have probably seen it. Now, very new pastry performer category for this week's awards. We have a new category, that is for sure.
Do we?
Now, as you guys know, we are the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. We actually originate from Australia, obviously. So there's about 10 or 11 dudes in the NFL who play, and they are born or bred in Australia. And each week, I'm going to put an Aussie pastry performer out there
Oh, I
because
love
one of these guys definitely deserve it every week. And week 3, we saw an absolute punt fest on Sunday Night Football, one of the worst games of all time. It was one of the absolute dog shit games I've ever seen. I actually cannot. I've been washing out my eyes ever since. I
Okay,
wish.
you've clearly forgotten that primetime game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals that finished 6-all after
Yeah,
overtime.
that
That's
one.
what you've
No,
forgotten.
I watched that one at school. I remember
Yeah.
that. And I just,
They should have paid the Denver punter 250 mil instead of us.
yeah, 100%, 100%. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the other punter, Mitch Wishnowski. What a performance. He showed why the Niners re-signed him last week. This dude, he was absolutely incredible, pinning punts left and right. I think he got 2 inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah,
One of
he
them
had a
went on the
cracking day.
1. He had one of the best days. Somehow the Niners defense didn't get a safety, but the Broncos defense somehow did, which turned out to be the game winning one. And yeah, it's just a disappointing day to be a Niners fan, but one of the real shining lights is our Aussie, the Thunder from Down Under, Mitch Wishnowski, absolutely deserves a Pastry Performer Award. You'll be getting your pastries either delivered to your family in Perth or we'll give it to you in
To his
San Fran.
mansion in San Francisco, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Yeah, one of those mansions in
Travel
San
well.
Francisco
Those
got to
he
be
just
his.
signed till the end of 2026. He'll have a mansion.
Yeah, he's definitely got to have a mansion somewhere. This guy, he deserves it though, 100%. We'll move on. The AFC defensive pastry performer. This guy had a good game against the Jets. I'm of course talking about Bengal here. He was absolutely phenomenal. 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I'm of course talking about Trey Hendrickson
Yeah.
rushing off the edge. He had a good game. I think really helped the Bengals just bounce back the whole game and yeah, absolutely deserves it here. He deserves his pastry. Again, a mansion will be getting it somewhere in Cincinnati. And 100% Trey Hendrickson. I'm really enjoying him. One of the more underrated pass rushers. And I think this week's pastry performer team of the week, a lot of dudes you wouldn't have heard of on the defensive side of the ball. Even on the
Yeah.
offensive side, there's dudes you wouldn't have heard of. Like that's how deep I went this week with that team of the week. So definitely check out Good Day Gridiron for the entire details of that. And of course, the post that will come out because it's a very underrated team of the week this week.
Oh, I like
But I'll
that.
move on. Yeah, I'll move on to the NFC defensive pastry performance. So the NFC defensive side, I went with DeMarcus Lawrence. Now he had a great game
yes.
against the Giants and on Monday Night Football. He was absolutely cooking rookie Evan Neal. He had 3 sacks and 6 combined tackles. DeMarcus Lawrence showing why he's worth big money. He was definitely the star performer for the Cowboys the whole night. And yeah,
Yeah, what
Gabe
chance did
Daniel
Dan Jones have? Well,
Yeah,
what chance did he have?
he was
It's
seeing
Lawrence, it's
ghosts.
Parsons, it's like they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah,
He got
definitely
injured as well,
DeMarcus
didn't he?
Lawrence.
He came off in like the third quarter or something as well. He got out of way bigger noise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. I think he did come up in that third quarter. It's just, yeah, it's just he could have had more, but he still did enough to win that defensive pastry performer of the week. There was still a few more guys there. Like you could have had Jeff Okuda shutting down Justin Jefferson or Devontae Campbell winning the game for the Packers, Roquan Smith winning the game for the Bears. There's a lot of good pastry performer defensive players on the NFC side. So it was a bit hard to choose, but DeMarcus Lawrence definitely stepped up in prime time, so he deserved that one. Now the AFC offensive page performer, no surprises. My boy, who I think is the best quarterback in the NFL, Lamar
Trevor Lawrence.
Jackson. Oh,
This is
he
awesome.
got, whoa, Trevor
I
got
demand
wrong.
a recount. I demand a
Whoa,
recount.
okay. I think Taylor put a vote in for Lamar. Of course, you had a vote for Trevor Lawrence. No surprises, that was from Maddie. Of course, I was the tiebreaker, so I had to go front by Lamar.
Okay.
That's
I'm
how the
satisfied with the
voting
recount now. I'm satisfied.
that's where the voting process went. Yeah, but Lamar, absolutely incredible 5 touchdown game. The Jackson 5 came out. I mean, one interception as a blemish, but when you get the Jackson 5, you got to get the
That's
offensive.
so good. The Jackson 5. Don't blame
Yeah.
it on the sunshine.
He
Don't blame it
definitely
on the
gets
moonlight.
100%, 100%, and he
Blame it
Do
on
you
deserved
reckon
that
he's too
one.
young to get that? Say? Do you reckon he's just completely
No,
missed the...
I played that. I played that song in band a trillion times, Maddie. Don't
Good,
be
good.
roasting my age here.
I just can't control my
I'm being
angles.
ageist. I apologize.
Dun, 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 dun.
The old bloke here's being
Yeah.
ageist.
Yeah, but we might see Lamar a little bit more later on. Who knows? He's in the
Woo!
contention for Page Performer of the Week. I'll spoil that. We'll see who it is later on. But we've got the NFC Offensive Page
Here we
Performer.
go. Here we
Here
go.
we go. This one's a difficult one again to choose. It was actually between two guys, Devonta Smith and Khalil Herbert. I went with Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith, baby.
Yeah.
He might come up later
Yeah.
too.
Look, if you want to misspell Devontae Adams, you best spell it like Devontae Smith because he got 8 catches, 169 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely incredible day. Shows that size doesn't matter. And 100%, he deserves this award for him. And again,
watch the catches too. There were about 4 of them that were just ridiculous. You just
100.
want it more than the other guy catches. And considering it's the smaller guy,
Yeah,
I was
And
just so
he
impressed.
took some hits. He took
I
some
feel
hits.
like I'm seeing a correlation between whatever wide receiver I pick in starts of the week and all of a sudden being the offensive player of the week after. Let's see if I can make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Haitian performers, they're always going with Taylor's wide receivers. So
And Monra, if for anyone out there, it was a Monra St. Brown, and then it was Devonta Smith for last week.
Yeah, and we also had Aaron Jones win a patient performer last week as well. So there you go. That was a very controversial recount there, but it was a tight vote. So look, we got the offensive page performer for the NFC. Now we're on to the big ones. The fantasy page performer. He was actually in contention for the NFC offensive page performer, as I mentioned earlier. Khalil Herbert came out of nowhere pretty much to have 20 carries, 157 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 catches, and 12 receiving yards. He came absolutely out of nowhere to have a good game this week. Deserved his Page Performer award for Fantasy Page Performer. Of course, he wasn't the top scorer because he's not quarterback, and quarterbacks usually get it. But he deserves his due here, Khalil Herbert. He's
a
got
heck of
to
a
get
day.
it.
He scored 30 points in PPR. That's a heck of a day for running back.
Yeah, Matt Collins very unlucky to not get one.
My boy.
To be honest, he deserves. I think Matt Collins deserves some sort of Page Performer. He did get on the team of the week, though. Don't worry, guys. But so he will get a Page.
Here we go. Here
but
comes
he
the James
deserves
Robinson
something.
pastry now. Here it comes.
Oh, the Page Performer of the week. Yeah,
But
we had.
I'm going to mention Jags for everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's Evan Ingram. I knew it.
Yeah, we had
2 catches.
That's for sure. We had a lot of contenders this week for the Patient Performer of the Week. My favorite award, of course, because you can only give one each week to the best one.
The crowd goes wild.
So the contenders, I could put in every Jaguars player is a contender this week.
Shortlist all of them. Yeah, Marvin, Zay, Dan Arnold.
Yeah, Christian Kirk. You've got freaking James Robinson, even ETN, even Trevor Lawrence. All of them even made it. So they're all in the short list there, Matty C. Don't worry, they've all made the short list. Devonta Smith, Khalil Herbert, of course, they made it as well. DeMarcus Lawrence, Yeah, he also deserves a spot here. Yeah, Trey Hendrickson, of course. They were all the guys that won the awards. Of course, Lamar as well. My boy. Look, it was a close vote. There was too many options to choose from, but I had to go with my boy Lamar Jackson this week. The Jackson Five. I can't stop mentioning it. He's the best quarterback in the league. I want to push the agenda on Pastry Press all week. So here we go. Your Pastry performer. Definitely not politically motivated at all. Lamar Jackson, the Jackson Five, 100% deserves it.
Just
Look,
pay that man. Just pay him.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think this is
look,
one
give it
where
to him.
rightly Manjot can say, my boy Lamar. You've been talking up Lamar since the
Yeah.
minute I met you. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamar had to. He's been my top quarterback in the league for the longest time. Now I'm really going to push the agenda here on Pastry Press. I'm actually going to come out with that take very soon, even as close. I'd say Thursday night, to be honest, Australian time. I'd put that out. So, look, some good pastry performance this week. Lamar better than them all, but everyone a deserved winner of the pastry performer individual awards this week. We did redesign the entire template for everyone's
yeah,
information because I just thought to make it a little bit more cartoony, but it should be good. We're just improving on it week by week. And this week, very many deserved page performers. Want to congratulate them all. We got, just running it through it real quickly, the rookie, Jalen Petrie, the Aussie, we got Mitchell Wisnowski. The AFC defensive, we got Trey Hendrickson. NFC defensive, DeMarcus Lawrence. AFC offensive, my boy Lamar Jackson. NFC offensive, Devonta Smith. The fantasy patient performer of the week, Khalil Herbert, and of course, the patient performer of the week, my boy Lamar Jackson again. There you go. Hopefully you enjoy your pastries, everyone. You can eat as many as you like. They're all on me this week, so get them delivered to your mansions. As always, check out Good Egg Gridiron for the
yes.
patient performer team of the week, and Pastry Press NFL for more pastry awards and everything. We just do all the fun stuff over there. So definitely check it out there.
Definitely.
NFL.
If you are short of Vikings love as well, definitely check out Good Egg Gridiron because Ian, he loves a Viking. He can't help. He can't help himself.
Yeah,
Friend of
KJ
our show
Osborne
too.
robbed.
We love Ian.
Yeah, KJ Osborne robbed apparently from Pastry
Robbed.
Performer. Yeah,
Robbed, yeah, absolutely. And
Just
I
got
think
the text
Tay
from
would
Ian.
also say that he's been all about the KJs. Tay, we know that you've got the affinity for for all those KJs.
Absolutely,
Well, hot
man.
and fresh, lots of pastries. Wow, I am so excited. There's an Aussie category now. Holy cow!
Yeah, I had
I
to
love
bring
that.
it out. Mitch Wisnowski deserved a pastry this week, so I had to put a whole category for him.
That's so great.
Again, not politically motivated, not biased at all.
Yeah, that
Not
wasn't on the run
90%.
sheet. I'm going to add that in.
Yeah, Aussie pastry performer. We have to add these in now. If there's 10 or 11
Yeah.
Aussies,
All right.
it's a more legitimate award. So yeah, again, enjoy your pastries, everyone. Of course, Mitch Wisnowski, you get a little bit of Vegemite on yours. Just put that Aussie flavor on. The Vegemite only for Mitch Wisnowski and the Aussie pastry
Yeah.
performers. We're gonna have special flavors for everyone. We're still deciding, but of course, peas and potatoes in there. Vegemite's just a side on sauce. So yeah,
Mate,
there you
I
go.
think every week you need to have a different Aussie ingredient for the Aussie one. And now you've just burnt Vegemite. You've got.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
for
wait to see
any-
what it's like by week 16.
For any Americans out there who don't know what Vegemite is, basically it looks like if you shat out tar.
But it tastes like if it came from the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a great mix.
I am always amused by watching videos of Americans trying Australian food, and the Vegemite never fails to satisfy me because they never spread it on toast. They will always ignore any directions on how to use it, and they'll just get a spoonful or a fingerful or a knifeful and be like. And the face is always the same. It's always like their mouth is trying to suck their whole head in. It's fantastic. Fantastic. America, we love you.
Yeah, we definitely do.
My next player caught AIDS in overtime, apparently. He decided he had dick fingers.
How
ETN.
nervous are you?
Yeah, I've been nervous. We've benched him already in a 16-team league, so
And what's he even doing? Has he got the
I don't know.
got a Auslan lady on the sideline sending it in?
He had
Yeah.
barely anything in week one, even though he jagged a touchdown in garbage time.
Should we move on to a sunnier subject, please?
yeah.
Feeling sad.
Against the Titans, because it's the Titans, and my God, I'm giving them back the Guinness World Record for our secondary. Like, they are just dog shit.
Dr. Goodcall definitely diagnosing correctly.
They were 24th against quarterback in 2021. I think they're going to be 50th this year. They are so bad.
Maddie, what's going on over there?
Feeling very happy about this.